Hi there. So we get heaps and heaps of questions about Desert Shadow hair dye and how do you use it and what do you do. So I thought I'd just do this video to show you what you actually do, because I use it myself and I use it all the time, so it's easy for me to kind of explain it via a video. Now, first of all, for those of you who don't know, what is Desert Shadow? It is a natural hair dye. It's made in Australia. It's predominantly henna based, but not all the colours are. And it's made from plants and botanicals and all that kind of stuff. It works phenomenally well. So when I first used it, my hair was so nourished. And this is I've heard this from lots and lots of customers as well, because you're just not putting anything nasty on your hair or your skin or your scalp. So, and we stock the whole range at Flora & Fauna and have been for a couple of years. Now, there are various colours. I use, because my hair is sort of a lighter brown, I tend to use the honey or the walnut. I'm doing honey today. I'm so busy, I've had to bring my hair dye away on holiday with me because that is the only time I get to do it. So here we have one we made earlier. Now, I'm not going to cover the reds and the black, which is the indigo, the blue-black, because they have a different process, which is actually a little bit easier. So with those, I suggest just follow the instructions. But with the browns, you receive your box like this, and what you get in the box is 2 sachets. There is a step 1 sachet and a step 2 sachet, and you also get a little spice sachet as well, along with gloves and, very importantly, these instructions. Now, there is different things to do depending on whether you're treating your hair for grey coverage or non-grey coverage. Now, most of the questions I get are all around grey coverage, and that's what I do as well. So I'm going to talk through the grey coverage instructions today. But there are instructions in here if you're non-grey or if you are grey, but grey coverage is what I'm talking through today. So what do we do? Give yourself some time when you do this, because it's a bit of a process. So you take sachet 1, and it's a powder basically, and it's one I have made earlier, so I'm showing you the result. But you take sachet 1, you put it in a bowl, this bowl, perfect size for me. You put that in a bowl and you add some lemon juice and water, and you give it a good mix until it gets a consistency which is basically like this. Now, this is the consistency you want, but what you do with that is you leave this for a good 4 to 12 hours, and I encourage you to leave it on the side of the 12 rather than the 4. And what you should, the result of it, you get like a little crust on top. So, if I just get a little spoon and show you, it's lighter underneath to the crust. So that's good, that's what you want. So that's good, that's worked for me. I've actually left that overnight, which is how I tend to do it, and then I pick it up the next day. So depending on where you live, if you live in a colder climate to a hotter climate, it will take longer than hotter climates and so on and so forth, but I just leave it overnight. So that's your step 1, so that's done. It really takes no effort at all, it just takes a bit of planning in terms of making sure you do this the night before. Then the next day, what you do is you take your sachet 2 and you put that into a bowl, and you also put in, you get a spice sachet, put that in as well. The only thing that does is it adds a nice scent to it. Because it's all plants and botanicals, I love the smell, but it's not for everyone. So the scent sachet just adds a little bit of a nicer scent to it, but totally, to be honest, your call on whether you use it. You add those together, and then you add some tepid sort of warm water, and you mix it. And I did this earlier, and it's just a few minutes mixing just to get the main lumps and bumps out. Then what you do with that is you leave it for 10 to 15 minutes. So I've already left this for 10 to 15 minutes. Then, following on from that, you can add step 1 to step 2. I never thought I would be on a cookery show, but look at me now. Okay, so you add that in, and you basically, you mix that up. Get all of it out. Yeah, so you mix that up, and it forms, this is the kind of the consistency that you want. And you mix that through. good arm workout too. You mix that through, and that's really all it is. If it's too thick, you can add a little bit of water to it, but actually, I find that if you just mix those fine, then it comes out like this. Now, just give it a good old mix. Great. That's it. That's literally it. So, you then leave that for 5 minutes, then following on from that, you just apply it to your hair. Now, you have got gloves in the box to do this. So what I find is useful is I'll take a chunk of hair. My greys are all here, as I'm sure, and here, all around the hairline, I'm sure many people are. So I tend to take a chunk of this, and I'll get the gloves, and I'll put the chunk through the hair like that. Because it's quite thick, I normally put a towel around my shoulders anyway, but because it's quite thick, it doesn't tend to sort of drip or anything like that, which some of the other hair dyes you can buy, that can be what happens to them. But it's more like a, it's kind of almost mud patish when you put it on. So I just tend to put it on like that, make sure you cover your hair, and then I'll put my hair up, and I just have a shower cap which I put over the top, and just keep a towel on me as well. And then you leave that for 3 to 4 hours. And again, I would encourage you to leave towards the 4 rather than the 3. That's what I tend to do to get a good result. The other thing is, and basically after that, I just hop into the shower, wash it off, and that's it. Really easy to wash out. It's your hair, I am sure, there's very few people that I've heard say it doesn't feel like this. Your hair will feel amazing. It feels incredibly nourished afterwards. So I look forward to doing this. And honestly, when I put it on, it's just not an issue. You just watch the telly or whatever, work in my case. Some things to note about Desert Shadow. It's when you cover it overnight, I tend to do that with a tea towel just so the air can still get to it. If you have dyed your hair before, I encourage you strongly to do a strand test, just because who knows how this will react with previous hair dye. I've not once heard of an incident where it didn't go well, but there's always a first. The other question we get asked quite a bit is there PPD in the black henna? No, there is absolutely not. So if you see PPD in anything with regards to henna, it is not good. So stay away from that, but there's absolutely nothing in here which is PPD. Yeah, I think those are a few of the questions we get asked. Those are the main, most of the questions we get asked are, how do I use it? How long do I leave it on for? And yeah, and what you'll find as well, it is semi-permanent, so you tend to do it every 6 to 8 weeks. Some people do it more than that, some people do it less. So that is Desert Shadow, and I'll also post at the end of this video a before and an after photo so you can see what the difference is, the honey shadow has made on my hair.